Who's there? End of the line.
Eyes open! What just happened? What the?
Hey, X4.
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, the line at the car wash was super long. Took me forever.
Your attempt at humor is wasted. Our targets are inside, 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in. The mission's parameters just changed. Going shooting. Requesting backup.
You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus.
Here they are.
God, it's a Corsair.
Issue the reset codes and we'll relay back to the Institute. Time is critical.
No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization. All right, Synth.
Please.
Z322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus.
That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and good work.
Possibly.
Just getting started. See many new things with you. What are you doing? Tanker. Strong pull.
So, this radio station here, we don't really make any caps, and there are well, some people help me stay in the air. People like this. portion of this broadcast has been brought to you by the Mega Surgery Center, now featuring facial reconstructive surgery. Oh, that's nice. Why settle for less than perfection? Here's Frankie Carl with a song that, frankly, sounds a little too good to be true. I'm not saying it's not, but, well, no, I guess I am. Never mind. Here's one more tomorrow.
Sean.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below. This really is a matter of importance. I hope you're not too overwhelmed.
Some air fresheners, a new coat of paint, and it'll all be good as new.
If only it were that simple. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They kept me alive, too.
They did, indeed. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Your unconditional love is overwhelming. I think I need a moment.
I can accept that you're offended. Certainly it was no an experiment. I had no... with the perhaps most curious to me.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's...
Right.
The synths have been... I hope you weren't at too much risk.
There's always a risk. It was worth it.
I'm glad you see it that way. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to... I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in. Let's get this directorate meeting over with before... It's
Call this a clean floor.
important.
Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
My apologies, sir. I was issued a defective cleansing unit.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Yes, sir.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Of course.
Really? Well, there's no shame in being out of the loop, as it were. The project power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
Right. Such hard times down here.
I would never disagree that life in the Institute is better than above ground. We have done much to ensure. Now, Phase 3 is simply... It will ensure.
Sounds like an important step.
That's... the reactors, and to how...
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful.
What?
Can't be serious!
Everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you. But we're running out of time.
Hey, have you seen the,
There must be something we can do to help you.
The only thing that matters now is continuing the Institute's work. It will be all right. I assure you, we can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting.
I kind of
Thank
feel
you.
like the last thing I'd want to do is,
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
But not Warren Smith. Here's uranium rock.
The Institute is my life. I hope it'll be yours too.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it?
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I can do the job.
Of course you can. That's why I made the decision. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us. But for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Humanity's future is taking root right here.
I apologize for any disruptions that my work might cause you.
I dislike resorting to the use of Commonwealth technology. For the advantage it will provide in this case cannot be overlooked.
Scanning. Subject identified. Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go over the details. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Oh man, I have one of those, but it's in my other pants.
You wouldn't recognize one if it fell on your head. That's why I'm going to retrieve it.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will be lighter. I suppose it's your job. Now you can return to your duties, and remember to report every symptom you experience. Hold on to your tests.
Guess we'll have to go through them.
Intruder alert! Ah! Found you!
No sign of the agitator. We'll have to search the rest of the building.
Calm down, Noel. You knew that this was coming. I don't understand why you're acting this way.
Don't tell me to calm down, Carl. When we started designing the beryllium agitator, you said it would be for the benefit of mankind. Instead, I find out that you have been planning on turning it over to the military all along. You lied to me.
Don't give me that high and mighty attitude. Have you picked up a newspaper lately? There's a war going on out there, Doctor. And if our side's going to win, it needs all the help it can get.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. Since when did science start taking sides? What did they promise you, Carl? Money? Political favors? A goddamn medal?
That's enough. Like it or not, when the testing cycle is completed, I'm crating up the agitator and sending it off to Washington. Now, you have two choices. Either you can get back to work, or you can get the hell out of my building.
Well, isn't this fun? There's the reactor. Not a bad piece of work for its time. Guess they weren't so good at mitigating radiation back in those days. Levels are almost off the charts.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed. Please wait. Decontamination complete.
Humans should fight with strong more. Good team.
Scanner is detecting sentient
These guys just don't know when they're beaten, do they? I'll help the synths buy some time. Make sure you get back to the Institute with the agitator.
Take them all out.
Finicky.
Operating at full capacity.
If you're the kind of person who is tired of living in Diamond City and you maybe want a adventure or something, I guess you have a new option. The settlement of
Sounds like those raiders at
Sanctuary
Libertalia were
has,
quite a
I
handful.
guess, been founded.
Synth unit, you were scheduled for maintenance duty.
Good luck to them
SRB
with,
last
you know,
night.
the whole...
Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duty.
In other news, it sounds like maybe the... It's not other news, it's actually the same news. The Minutemen were involved in this. That's the Minutemen. I thought they were kind of done for.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
It sounds kind of crazy, if you ask me.
Dr. Fillmore.
I think that was
real,
enough excitement for a
super
while.
dangerous, I bet.
Ever. Thank you,
Here we
really.
go, some
Couldn't have
Bob
managed it without
Crosby.
you. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting.
There's been a security breach in Biosite. Any additional pay?
Not that I notice.
Interesting. How's your energy level? Are you getting fatigued?
No more than I'd expect from a...
Interesting. You're sticking to the regimen we agreed upon?
Yes, Doctor. I'm taking all my little pills.
Okay.
You wanted to see me?
I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
We handled them just fine.
That's what Dr. Fillmore reported. I'm quite pleased at the results. Would have been a terrible setback to lose that technology to those savages. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced technology in the Commonwealth, if not beyond. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the Institute about your allegiances. I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly confronting the Brotherhood, I think you've put some others at ease. I'm proud of you, regardless. The Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and we must focus on the present. And look at me, rambling on like the old man I am. I'm wasting time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
Oh, good. Here I was afraid I'd have nothing to do.
Very funny. There's something that needs your immediate attention. While you were working with Dr. Fillmore, a small team was dispatched elsewhere in the Commonwealth. Dr. Thompson was tasked with inviting someone from the Commonwealth to join the Institute.
Sounds simple enough.
It was supposed to be, yes. There was no indication that this would be a problem. But the arrival of the team was an unwelcome surprise to Mr. Wallace. Somewhere along the way, he must have realized we'd been monitoring him from a distance. I'm sure they're not. I'll be waiting.
I have to admit, the third generation synth... It's really something.
No one can beat strong. Who's that strong bug?
No.
Strong bug.
Thank God you're here. I was starting to worry we might not make it out of this mess.
Everything's taken care of. You're safe.
It was bad enough when Wallace reacted so poorly to our arrival, but then Gunners? I was not prepared for that. I know he's potentially important to Phase 3 and all, but I'm not sure it's worth putting ourselves in harm's way.
If he's really important to the Institute, then it's worth it.
You're right, I suppose.
Strong can fight.
I know they've been keeping an eye on him for years. Not sure how they originally found him, but probably don't want to know. But once they realized how smart he was and what an asset he could be for Phase 3, they watched pretty closely. I think they even fed him scientific material from time to time to see how good he was, you know, testing him, to see if he was Institute material. Let's just get Wallace and get out of here.
No argument from me. Let's go.
Right. There's just, well, I was thinking.
No problem. I'm sure I can get him to see reason.
I hope so. We really need.
Good luck to them. With,
Mr. Wallace, I'm here to talk to you.
You're another one of them, aren't you? Are you a robot?
It sounds like maybe the... It's not other news. It's
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I'm not a robot.
That's exactly what a robot would say.
That's the Minutemen.
I've heard all the stories. I know exactly what happens to people when the Institute shows up. Well, it's not happening to me.
And if it were real, it would be super dangerous, I bet.
Right. We're here to steal your kidneys and your memories. That's why I'm wasting time talking to you through the door.
That's not funny! None of this is funny!
That's probably accurate.
Hey, just calm down, okay? I just want to talk to you.
Fine, fine. What do you want from me?
I can't tell you what it's about, but it's important.
Look, I'm really not comfortable with anything that's happening right now.
Uh-huh.
The Institute has an engineering problem that your scientific expertise could help solve. In exchange for helping us out, you'd be granted access to the most advanced research facility imaginable. Whatever research you wanted to perform, anything, it's possible there. I promise. You'd be safe and secure in a way that's completely impossible anywhere else.
You'd be helping us create a better world.
That sounds good. Okay, fine. I'll go.
I'm looking forward to working for you, future director. Okay. I think we've got this under control now. Thanks. I mean, thanks for the assist.
Oh, screw you. There are plenty of things I'd rather have done than come fix your mess.
Wow. Okay. Message received. I'll see you back in the Institute.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
Hi.
You are authorized to access my stock of supplies.
I've got a few minutes to browse. Son.
There you are. I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings. Yet he's already pointed out several inefficiencies in our methods. With his help, Phase 3 will be ready in no time.
Well, maybe it's because I'm the only one who seems to actually be doing anything.
Come now. Countless hours have been spent building and readying the reactor. True, you have endured some of the more dangerous missions. Such is the price of leadership. It is time to...
Right, because no one up there suspects the Institute exists.
This is not a joke. There's been too much posturing by two... As the incoming director, we've prepared some... Use the microphone.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists. That we are among you. It is true. But it is not the whole truth.
We're here. And we are.
The future. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details. Daily lives. We deduce dire consequences. Rest easy, in safe hands, and that man...
Well, that was... interesting. Now it's time to make sure that everyone hears it. How would you feel about making a little trip to Diamond City?
I could use some fresh air.
A quaint phrase. Though I'm afraid the air there is anything but fresh. The radio station in Diamond City is listened to by many in the Commonwealth. If we'd like the people to hear what we have to say, it's the best way to reach them. Before we, I've been assured, report back.
Hi.
Okay. Let's try this. Maybe this goes here? Alright. In you go.
I don't, okay. I usually don't. This is why. Hey. Hi. Again. Hey.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth.
Father is more than just our leader. He is our creator.
enjoyed that song by Warren Smith, because I can't take it back.
Yeah?
Hey, so, there's this bit of news that, might interest you. If not, hang on a minute, and I'll go back to the music that we usually do. If you hadn't, heard, I mean, I guess most people know this, but maybe someone that, the Green Tech building was where those mercenaries lived? The Gunners, that's it. That was like...
Enjoy your trip to the big city. It's done then?
Everything is in place. It's ready to go when we are.
Good. Once the reactor is online, we'll cut into their broadcast. I'll let you do the honors.
This, my friends, is the moment we've all worked towards. After all your efforts, the time has finally come to start our reactor. No longer will we be forced to compromise to survive. No more will we need worry about outplacing our resources. My father and I couldn't be more proud of what you have helped us accomplish, and we look forward to achieving even greater things in the future.
Segway.
The Institute is now truly mankind's best hope. Thank you.
Frankie Carl wrote a song about tomorrow. Or at least, I guess, his version of tomorrow. Which is pretty different from mine.
Sean.
It's almost hard to believe. After all those years of hard work, here we are. We've arrived. Look what you've made possible.
I did good work, didn't I?
Yes. Yes, you did. There's more work to be done before the Institute's future is guaranteed. The Directorate has convened a meeting about how to proceed. I'm not going to attend. Hello, Father. I hope your time in the Institute has been enjoyable.
This is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
I have to admit, the third generation sense of peace.
In case anyone
didn't mention it,
I hope they're not getting
quiet time runs from 10 p.m.
Higgs and Vulcan are no better than children throwing a temper tantrum.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
May I be the first to welcome you, sir. We're looking forward to working with you.
I'm happy to be here, Dr. Fillmore. I hope I do the position justice.
I'm sure you will.
Right now, we're all here because it's finally time to stand up for ourselves.
Let's not be dramatic, Justin.
There's nothing dramatic about it. We're in a position to push back, to assert ourselves here. That's what we've talked about all along.
To bring you up to speed, obviously there are groups in the Commonwealth that stand in opposition to the Institute's goals. With the reactor now online, we have the ability to not only expand synth production, but to project power to a much greater degree.
I'm sure the reactor will improve everyone's life. It's a great accomplishment.
Yes, but it's not just that. The Directorate has agreed that steps must be taken to ensure our safety in the long run.
Let's not beat around the bush. The Directorate has agreed that the Brotherhood of Steel needs to be eliminated.
As the incoming director, we felt it important to inform you of the decision and get your thoughts on it. So, where do you stand?
I agree. We hit them hard, before they have time to react to our new position.
Good. That's just what I wanted to hear.
As director, it's up to you and how we focus our efforts in achieving this goal. We'd like your input on what direction we should take. Do we increase synth production or focus on weapons development?
I'll tell you what. You make the call. Surprise me.
Okay then. I'll come up with something. Thank you very much for your time, sir. That's all we have for the moment. I believe Father wished to speak with you once our meeting concluded.
To be frank, I don't agree with Father's decision, but I'll accept it.
The Institute's a big place. It might take a while to learn where everything is.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to me.
Surplus power should translate to increased efficiency and productivity.
Ah, there you are. You've met with the Directorate. I assume they made their intentions known? It was difficult for them to reach the decision to engage in open hostility. What about you? You agree with their decision?
It's the only way we can ensure the Institute's safety. That makes it the right thing to do.
I'm glad you agree. None what comes next will be easy. That conviction may help keep us all going.
You know, Father, it's no secret that you worked with the Railroad in order to first reach the Institute.
The depth of your involvement with them has been called. You can imagine my relief. I am sorry.
Sure. It was tough, yeah.
I assure you that there was no other way. Their fanaticism wouldn't have allowed it. There is obviously one final threat the Institute faces.
Sure. There's always one last thing.
You're not wrong, I suppose. There will always be issues that need to be dealt with, but this is something else entirely. The Brotherhood of Steel covets technology, and has made it clear that we cannot peacefully coexist. They will eventually come for us, and attempt to take what we've spent so long creating. We need to destroy them before they can destroy us.
You're right. We take the fight to them.
I'm glad you agree. But the problem with the Brotherhood of Steel goes beyond the edges of the Commonwealth. It's not enough to destroy them here.
There are more of them out there in the world, Father. And they too will come for us.
We can defeat them now, we can defeat them again, if we have to.
Possibly, yes. But it would be smarter to put an end to it. We will show them that we will teach them that we can appear at them. They will know...
Right. You seem pretty convinced this will work.
The Institute is nothing if not thorough. Dr. Lee should be expecting you in her lab. She can fill you in on the details. Time is of the...
Dr. Lee might not show up, but I can tell she's excited about having the reactor online.
At last, we have power adequate to our needs.
I'm glad you...
Dr. Lee.
What can I do for you?
Sean says it's time.
Ah, that. Well, let's get to it. Dr. Orman, over here, please. It's time.
What now? I'm still working over the code that the robotics sent over. The algorithm is a mess. It's not even close to peak efficiency.
It would seem we've run out of time. Let's go. We're going to cover the basics of the operation as it stands now. Dr. Orman has done most of the prep work, so I'll let her explain.
Okay, thanks. Is this really exciting, or is it just me? So, you know that the Brotherhood's main operation is at the airport, right?
I'm aware of that, yes.
Okay, good. If they were a little less intelligent, we wouldn't even be talking about this. We'd have just swarmed them with synths. But they're not idiots. They've managed to generate an EM field that's messing with our ability to relay in.
So we just relay onto the airship and sabotage it.
Won't do us any good. There's no direct connection between their robot and the airship, so the immediate area around their encampment is a no-go. They don't, however, have the entire airport covered. We can relay you in to a point at the edge of the airport, and then you can get in and take down the generators.
We'll have the element of surprise, if nothing else.
Exactly. You'll have surprise on your side. Should give you some time before they can organize a real defense. For every generator you take down, it means we can start relaying in synths, giving you even more of an advantage. And, oh! I almost forgot. Take these.
Oh, thanks. Grenades. Sure, I can always use grenades.
No, they're not grenades. This thing, and I haven't come up with a good name for it yet, it basically deploys a beacon marker. Wherever they land, we can lock onto them and relay synths directly to that position. If there's a hotspot, you can drop synths right on it. We've only got a few of these, so put them to good use. Don't go tossing them into the bay.
Oh, great. The day is won. I can see it now.
We'll see what you think when you're neck deep in Brotherhood soldiers. Your real job will be to reach Liberty Prime. You know the deal with that, right?
It's the Brotherhood's giant robot.
Right. They think it's their ultimate weapon. We're going to show them it's ours. We've taken everything we know, made a few modifications based on what we think they've done with it in the past 10 years. And, this part was my idea, uploaded the whole thing into a modified... The little guy is going to be exposed and vulnerable, so you'll have to keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't get shot, you know?
With Liberty Prime on our side, that'll give us a hell of an advantage.
He's not going, and he'll absolutely... So your end goal... Oh, and don't worry.
If you have any questions...
Uh-huh. No questions. Let's do this.
Very well. Good luck to you.
So,
not everything we've heard about the Institute is true.
Yes?
Give us a chance.
We don't really make
I've already
any
started thinking about the
caps.
next reactor.
And
I'm
there
convinced
are
that antimatter is the way to
well, some
go.
people help me stay in the air. People like